Hello everyone, and welcome to 2018 at Culture of Gaming. The holiday season is well over, and things are returning to normal. I'm Taylor, and here's the news you may have missed over the holidays. Do please note that these are in no particular order. Let's just get started. Our first piece today is the announcement that Nintendo will be releasing 64GB game cartridges for use on the Switch in 2019, as opposed to 2018 as originally thought. The discs on the Xbox One and PS4 have a capacity for storage of around 50 gigs of data, but upon release and to present day, Switch cartridges have a capacity of around 32 gigs, which is why games like LA Noire on the Switch required installing part of the data to the Switch itself through a download. Nintendo cites their own technical issues for this delay. Next up, Atlus, the developer of some of my personal favorite series like Trauma Center and Persona, released a little puzzle game called Catherine. Atlus has announced Catherine Full Body, a sort of re-release of Catherine but with more content. The biggest addition being a third girl, who actually isn't named Catherine. This third character, Rin, is a pianist at one of the bars in the game, and her storyline is split through both Catherine and Catherine paths in the game. Full Body will also include things like alternate endings, story episodes, and some new gameplay mechanics, so you get an even fuller Catherine experience. Moving on from Catherine, I hope the name Cliffy B might jog a few memories with the audience here. Cliff was a primary developer and face of Epic Games at the time they brought us Gears of War and Bulletstorm. Since then, Cliff has formed his own studio named Boss Key Productions. Their big, anticipated title, Lawbreakers, failed to live up to expectations to say the least, even going so far as to have a Steam concurrent player count of 2 at some point in the game's lifecycle. Nexon, the company who published Lawbreakers for Boss Key Studios, is now starting to ask a few questions as to the failure of the game. The company's CFO placed the blame on PUBG, saying, quote, "Our results in North America in the third quarter were below our outlook, mainly due to the sales being below our expectations. We had very high expectations for its launch, however, the timing of its launch turned out to be unfortunate. Specifically, the blockbuster PC online game PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds came out right about the same time, making the market environment very tough for first-person shooters in general and for Lawbreakers," end quote. Looping back to Switch news, over the holiday season, the Nintendo Switch has become not only the fastest selling console in the US, but has also outsold Sony's incredibly powerful PS2 in Japan. According to Nintendo, the Switch has sold 4.8 million units in the US alone in just 10 months, and beat the previous record holder of fastest selling console in the US, which ironically was Nintendo's Wii, which sold 4 million in 10 months. For the next item, to wrap up Nintendo news, it looks like the Switch will be getting a version with pink and green Joy-Cons, as well as those colors also being sold in 2018. Quite the interesting color choice, if I do say. And for our last item is some rapid-fire news pieces. In Overwatch, the heroes Mercy and Junkrat may be receiving nerfs causing community discussion. Sea of Thieves is getting an Xbox controller with a cool graphic on it. Call of Duty World War II has announced its first DLC. A new Xbox One dashboard update has been announced, and Asus is releasing a limited series of laptops signed by Faker, a professional and superstar of the League of Legends esports scene. Anyway, that about does it for the big news you may have missed over the holiday season. There was a significant story missing, however. Instead of going into details regarding it, I will just say that we here at Culture of Gaming wish the late Andrew Finch's family all the best, and we deplore the practice of swatting your fellow gamers. For all of your gaming news and reviews, head on over to cultureofgaming.com. Also, be sure to check out our podcast where you can see lots of great people have lots of great discussion over video games. I will see you all next time.